What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I got some bad news. So, you know, the best bodybuilder pound for pound in the world, or at least that's what a lot of people say. A lot of people would give that crown to Keone Pearson, and honestly, I can see exactly why. Bro has probably the best shape in bodybuilding right now. The smallest waist ever imaginable, flaring quads, super wide shoulders. The X frame is just unreal on this guy. He pretty much doesn't have a weakness. Well, until kind of now. Now, before what I'm going to be talking about in this video, you're probably like, what weakness do you mean on Keone, right? Like, because he's got, like, the perfect physique, right? Well, there are two things I noticed before, and there's one other thing I'm going to be talking about right now. The first is that Keone, he's got a bit of an ab split, not very aesthetic. He doesn't have great abs, but personally, I think he makes up for this by having one of, if not the best vacuums next to sebum in the world. And two, when he's posing from the front just straight on, his one lat comes out a little bit more than the other one, so it's not perfectly symmetrical. Other than that, that's it. He's got the perfect physique, right? Well, there's something in bodybuilding that's been going on for, I want to say, the past like 20-ish, around probably 20 to 30 years, and that is Palumboism. This is where the gut likes to distend. You get a distended gut, and unfortunately, after this year's Olympia and stuff, people posted pictures and stuff, it looks like Keone is starting to get a little bit of that distension. Now, he can still pull a fantastic vacuum. It's not like a Nick Walker situation where, like, Nick Walker, you're never seeing that guy pull a vacuum. He simply can't do it. Keone still has a vacuum, but he lets it go a little bit, and kind of when he crunches down a little bit, you can really see it kind of showing. So he really needs to stay in that vacuum to try and hide this. Now, right now, it's not too bad, but I can totally see a trend. You know, he's saying he wants to go in the open category. He's competing at Prague. We're going to get into that in a little bit. And when he goes into the open category, he's obviously going to want to start putting on more size, and that could very much so lead to this Palumboism and the distension of the gut becoming a lot worse. We saw this with Phil Heath and Ronnie Coleman. You know, it obviously got a lot worse as those guys started putting on more size. At the beginning of their careers, it was very good, under control, wasn't that big of a deal. But as they put on more size, unfortunately, the waist had to give. Now, Keone, again, has a fantastic, nice, tiny waist, but it would be such a shame for it to be ruined by this. And at the post-Olympia press conference, I was in line to ask a second question. I asked Derek Lunsford a question, but then I went in line again to ask a second question, and it was actually about this, and it was to Keone. It was, how are you going to put on that extra size while keeping that waistline in check? So what I think he needs to do is he needs to slowly put on that size. If he rushes it, does it too quickly, I think it's going to get a lot worse a lot quicker. But if he puts on size a little bit slower, I think he could reduce it as much as possible. Now, he is making his open debut in the Prague show this weekend, but I think he's got some stiff competition. I believe Michael Krizo is competing in there. I believe that's his name. We got Martin Fitzwater and Samson Dota. Those are, in my opinion, the big names that are competing in there, and I just think it's going to be a real uphill battle for Keone. I want to say especially for it's going to be especially hard for him to beat Martin and Samson because those guys also have a very good shape and they're just so much bigger than Keone. Yeah, Keone's got a better shape, but it's open bodybuilding. It's still a size game. So I don't imagine Keone is going to beat those guys. Now, Michael Krizo doesn't have the greatest shape ever. He definitely has more size, but on the day, I could see Keone, if he comes in really on and maybe Krizo comes off, I definitely could see Keone taking a third place finish. But unless Martin and Samson come really off, which if I had to bet, I don't think they're going to do, I do not see Keone winning the show. And I know all you Keone fans are going to be writing in the comments saying, no, what are you talking about? It's just he doesn't have the size. If he had more size, 100% he could be winning this show. And I saw a video from Nick Strength and Power where he was like comparing him with Samson Dota, but like the problem with that was he made Keone, or in the video Keone was the same height as Samson. Like, hello? Obviously, if Keone was as tall as Samson, he'd freaking dominate. Yeah, if Sean Clarita was 6'2", he'd be the Mr. Olympia champion for years to come, but he's not. So you can't do that. Keone, I believe he's only 5'6", going to be a little bit smaller on stage. So I don't think he is going to win Prague, but I do think it could get top 3 here. I just think Martin and Samson are too far ahead of him in terms of the size game. And if Keone does put on more size in the future, hopefully he can keep that midsection in check because he just has such a good freaking physique, man. It'd be such a shame to have it ruined by that gut distension. But let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below. Do you think this is going to be a big issue for Keone going into the open category and furthering his career? Personally, I do think it may be. We've seen it throughout time and time again with other Mr. Olympia champions. So it would be a real shame if that midsection were to extend. So again, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.